here we go. Okay, so remember we think of it like money, okay? So if I have some decimals that I'm adding up, okay? Let's say I've got 4.1 plus negative 6.3. Okay, well, first thing I'm going to think about, okay, if this was money, if I had, what is 4.1 the same as? $4.10, right? If you had, first of all, is that positive 4.1? Yeah, so it's like you have $4.10, but you owe me $6.30. So regardless of what the answer is, are you going to still owe me or are you going to have money left? You're still going to owe me, right? So I know that my answer is going to be negative, right? And then I just find the difference between the two, right? So 6.3 minus 4.1. When I add or subtract decimals, the decimals have to what? Line up, okay? Can I just subtract straight down here? What's 3 minus 1? 2. Bring my decimal down with 6 minus 4. So the answer to this would be negative 2.2, right? Now, that's one that has two different signs. It's not the same rule as multiplication and division. Just because they're different signs, this could just as easily be positive if 4.1 was bigger, couldn't it? Okay? So you have to be careful what the numbers are. Make sense so far? God bless you. Braden. Okay. Now, what if I have, can I erase this? Okay. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, are we ready? Hello? Yes? Okay. All right, what if I have one like this? Let's say I have negative 0.4 plus, let's say, negative 7.8. Okay, what's different about this one? You owe money, and then you what? You owe more money. So we're not going to find the difference between these. What are we going to do? We're going to add them together, right? You just kind of have to think about this before you add them. It can get really confusing. But again, if you think of them like money, okay, it's either owe or have. Make sense? So first of all, do I know that this is going to, if I owe money and then I borrow more money, am I going to owe more money? So it's going to stay what? Stay negative. Okay, so this is going to be a negative. Now I'm going to put these together. Am I going to find the difference or am I going to add them together? Add them. So 7.8 plus 0.4. What's 8 plus 4? 12. Bring my decimal down, carry my 1. What's 7 plus 1?
8.
So this would be what?
8.2.
Negative 8.2. Okay? Do you understand so far? Yeah? Okay. Try this one. Try this one. Let's see if you get it. Negative 1.74. Negative, sorry. Plus 5.3. Let's see if you can figure that one out. When you get that one, raise your hand. Okay? Think about it first. Think about whether my answer is going to be positive or negative. Which one's bigger? It's going to be positive. Okay, a couple of you have answers. All right, first thing, I'm going to think of this like what?
Money.
Like money, okay? So if I read this like money, I owe $1.74, right? But I have how much?
30 cents.
$5.30. So first of all, is my answer going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
It's going to be positive, but do I need to find the difference or do I need to add these?
You need to subtract them.
I'm going to subtract them. So 5.3 minus 1.74. Okay, this one's a little different. I have this empty space here. What do I have to put in that empty space?
0.
A 0. Okay, so we'll put a 0 here. Now, can I take 4 from 0? So I can borrow from my 3, and it becomes what? 2. What does this become? 10. What's 10 minus 4? 6. Okay, can I borrow from my 5?
Yep.
Becomes a 4. What's 12 minus 7? 5. Decimal, what's 4 minus 1? 3. So this would be 3.56. How many of you got that right? Okay. Are we good so far? Not that difficult, right? Okay. So we're good with decimals. Now, when we move on to fractions, okay? Are fractions rational numbers? Yeah. Okay. What is important when I add fractions? When I add fractions, what must you have? Fune? A what? Yes. Good. You must. Now, does that mean you should, you might, you want to? What does that mean? You have to. Okay? You must have a common denominator. Now, that's a big word that I have trouble spelling. Okay, denominator, which means what? Bottom number. Okay? Now, there's all kinds of mistakes that are made when we do something like this. If I had this, negative 2/3 plus 1/4, okay? Sometimes when we see fractions, we just add them straight across, okay? If I did that, would I get this answer correct? No. Before I deal with any negatives or any positives, we're going to deal with the denominator. Okay, now look at these two. I have a 3 and a 4. Okay, what's a common denominator I could use? Jacob?
12.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Okay, if I do 12, now I want you to watch how I do this, okay? Because I have little tricks that I do to make sure that I don't forget stuff. Okay, notice I put my denominators there first. Did you see what I did?
Yes.
Okay, now, this is negative. Is it going to change from a negative? It's going to stay negative, right? We're not changing the value, so I'm going to put this negative sign here. This one's positive. What did I do to 3 to get to 12? Times 4. So I'm going to put a little 4 right here. Now, if I change something on the bottom, I what? Got to do the same thing to the top, right? So what's 2 times 4? 8. Now, what did I do to 4 to get to 12? 4 times what?
3.
Times 3. So I'm going to do the same thing up here. What's 1 times 3? 3. Now, all of this is going to be over 12. Okay? And on top, I'm going to write these numbers. I'm going to write negative 8 plus 3. Okay? No matter what's going to still be on bottom? 12. Okay, now if I read this, these are just integers, right? Are we adding two integers here? Yeah. What's negative 8 plus 3? That means you owe 8, but you have what? You have 3. So if you owe 8 and you have 3, you owe 5. So negative 5/12 would be my answer. Yes,
Could you explain how you got the 3?
the 3. So I did 4 times 3 is 12, and 1 times 3 is 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yes?
So when you're adding, do you have to multiply it by the bottom number of the other fraction?
Whatever you do to that bottom number to get to the common denominator, you have to do to the top. Okay? Did that kind of make sense? Let's try another one. Okay? Hang on, Jacob. Let's try another one real quick. Okay. Let's say I've got negative 2/5 plus 1/3. Okay. First thing, can I find a denominator here? What am I going to use, Zoe? 15. I would use 15. Good. So we'll put a 15 down here and a 15 down here. How many of you guys noticed that I put my denominators down there first? Okay. And I'm kind of a math nerd, so I make sure that I don't make mistakes by doing that. Okay. Now I'm going to go back. Is this going to change from a negative? Nope. Stays negative. How do I get from 5 to 15? 5 times what? Times 3. So Braden, if I do times 3 down here, what do I have to do up here? What's 2 times 3? 6. Now, how did I get from 3 to 15, Elijah? 3 times what?
5.
And if I do a 5 down here, I got to do a what? 5 up there. Okay. Now, Do you guys understand where all these numbers came from? Now, all of this is over 15. And I'm going to write my numbers here. This is negative 6 plus 5. Negative 6 plus 5. Well, this is going to stay 15. You owe 6. You have 5. What is it? So negative 1/15 would be my answer. Okay? Yeah. If you can simplify, always simplify. Can I simplify that? No. Okay? Are you with me so far?
That's way better than Miss Weaver described it, because I didn't get that last year.
Okay. Do you get this? Now, what's different if I have something like this? Can I erase that? Did you guys have that? Okay. Try this one. Let's say I've got negative 2 plus 6 over 5. Okay. What's different about this one? Jacob? It's a whole number. Well, it's an integer, right? Not a whole number, but it's an integer, right? In order to add two fractions, what do they have to both be? Zoe? They got to both be fractions. How can I make negative 2 into a fraction? Chase?
Well, putting a 1 underneath it.
Putting a 1 underneath it is exactly what I need to do. Okay? Now, this gets easy. Okay, because what's the common denominator here? 5. So I write my 5. Write my 5. Is this going to stay negative? Yes. Okay, how did I get from 1 to 5? 1 times what?
5.
What's 2 times 5?
10.
Bless you, 10. How did I get from 5 to 5?
1.
Stays the same, right? So 5 times 1, what's 6 times 1? 6. Okay, all of this is over 5, so I have negative 10 plus 6. Well, if you owe me 10, but you have 6, do you still owe me money?
No.
How much do you owe me? 4. Negative 4 over 5. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
A little tricky, looks kind of difficult, but it's not at all hard. Okay? Would you like me to do one more, or are you good to go? Okay. I will